Days of relentless rainfall have pushed parts of southern China into another period of dangerous flooding, with Guangxi emerging as one of the regions experiencing the greatest disruption. Rivers have swollen beyond the normal levels. Low-lying neighborhoods have become submerged, and emergency crews have been working around the clock as communities struggle to cope with rising water. Across cities, towns, and rural villages, residents are facing damaged homes, interrupted transportation, and uncertain days ahead as authorities continue monitoring weather conditions. For many families, the crisis began with what seemed like an ordinary period of seasonal rain. However, as storm systems lingered over southern China, rainfall accumulated rapidly, streams overflowed into rivers, drainage systems became overwhelmed, and floodwaters gradually spread across streets, farmland, and residential communities. Within a short period, areas that normally bustled with traffic and daily activity were transformed into flooded landscapes where rescue boats replaced cars. Local authorities responded quickly by activating emergency response plans. Rescue teams, firefighters, police officers, and volunteers were dispatched to areas reporting rapidly rising water. Their priority was clear: protect lives, assist vulnerable residents, and ensure evacuation routes remained accessible before conditions worsened further. Throughout Guangxi, emergency workers navigated flooded streets using inflatable rescue boats, reaching homes where residents were unable to leave safely on their own. Elderly people, young children, and individuals with mobility challenges received special assistance to transport temporary shelters established on higher ground. These evacuation centers quickly became places of refuge, providing drinking water, medical assistance, and temporary accommodation for displaced families. One of the defining characteristics of flash flooding is its speed. Unlike slow-rising rivers that may provide days of warning, intense rainfall can transform quiet neighborhoods into dangerous flood zones within just a few hours. Water rushing downhill from surrounding mountains often combines with overflowing rivers, dramatically increasing flood levels throughout valleys and low-lying communities. Officials repeatedly urged residents not to underestimate moving water, reminding the public that even relatively shallow floodwaters can carry tremendous force. Transportation quickly became one of the sectors facing the greatest disruption. Numerous roads became impassable as floodwaters covered highways, intersections, and rural routes. Drivers attempting to travel encountered submerged vehicles, damaged pavement, and rapidly changing road conditions. Authorities advised motorists to postpone unnecessary journeys while emergency crews worked to clear debris and assess damaged infrastructure. Railway operations also faced challenges as engineers inspected bridges, embankments, and rail lines exposed to prolonged flooding. Although China's transportation infrastructure is built to high engineering standards, passenger safety remains the highest priority whenever severe weather threatens critical systems. Temporary service adjustments were introduced in some areas until inspections confirmed that routes remained safe for operation. Air travel experienced delays as heavy rain reduced visibility and complicated airport operations. While modern aircraft are capable of operating in difficult weather conditions, severe storms often require airlines to adjust schedules to maintain safe takeoffs and landings. Travelers found themselves waiting inside terminals while weather conditions gradually improved. Beyond transportation, flooding has placed enormous pressure on agriculture throughout Guangxi. The region is well known for producing rice, fruits, vegetables, and sugarcane, making agriculture an essential part of the local economy. Fields that had shown promise for a productive harvest suddenly disappeared beneath muddy floodwater. Farmers watched anxiously as weeks or even months of hard work faced potential destruction within a matter of hours. Livestock producers confronted equally difficult challenges. Rising water forced many farmers to relocate animals to higher ground while protecting feed supplies and farming equipment. Every hour of preparation mattered because floodwaters could isolate farms quickly, making evacuation increasingly difficult once access roads disappeared beneath the water. Urban communities face different but equally significant problems. Drainage systems designed to handle ordinary rainfall struggled under the sheer volume of water generated by continuous storms. Underground parking garages, shopping districts, residential compounds, and commercial streets filled with water, disrupting businesses and daily routines. Municipal workers operated pumps continuously while clearing blocked drainage channels to accelerate water removal wherever possible. Power outages affected some neighborhoods after electrical infrastructure was damaged or disconnected as a safety precaution. Utility companies dispatched repair crews immediately after conditions became safe enough for inspections. Restoring electricity required careful examination of substations, transformers, and distribution equipment to prevent further hazards caused by water damage. Hospitals remained fully operational despite the challenging circumstances. Medical personnel prepared for increased demand as flood-related injuries, waterborne illnesses, and emergency evacuations placed additional pressure on healthcare systems. Ambulance crews coordinated closely with emergency responders to reach patients despite flooded roads and transportation disruptions. Schools across some affected communities adjusted schedules while officials evaluated campus safety and monitored weather forecasts. Parents relied on official announcements regarding temporary closures and reopening plans as educators prioritized student safety during the ongoing emergency. Community solidarity emerged as one of the most encouraging aspects of the disaster response. Volunteers delivered bottled water, food, blankets, clothing, and hygiene supplies to evacuation centers. Local organizations coordinated donations while neighbors helped one another move furniture, protect homes, and assist elderly residents unable to prepare independently. These acts of cooperation demonstrated the resilience that often appears during natural disasters. Businesses throughout the region experienced varying degrees of disruption. Retail stores temporarily closed after floodwater entered buildings. Restaurants suspended operations while cleaning damaged kitchens and dining areas. Manufacturing facilities assessed equipment exposed to water, while logistics companies worked to restore disrupted delivery networks. Every day of closure represented lost income for both employers and workers. The economic impact of severe flooding extends well beyond immediate physical damage. Rebuilding roads, repairing bridges, restoring utilities, replacing damaged equipment, and supporting agricultural recovery require significant resources. Small businesses often need months to return to normal operations, while farming communities may face an entire growing season of financial uncertainty. Environmental concerns also become increasingly important after major floods. Floodwaters frequently carry sediment, waste, and debris into rivers and reservoirs. Public health officials therefore monitor drinking water supplies carefully while advising residents to avoid contact with contaminated water whenever possible. Cleanup operations prioritize sanitation alongside physical reconstruction. As rainfall gradually decreases, attention shifts toward recovery. Municipal crews begin removing mud, fallen trees, damaged vehicles, and accumulated debris from streets and public spaces. Engineers inspect public infrastructure, ensuring bridges, roads, schools, and government buildings remain structurally sound before reopening fully. Utility companies continue restoring electricity, internet services, and clean water to neighborhoods affected by prolonged outages.